Well, look, it's very interesting. I was sitting with a very successful asset manager the other day, and we were talking about branding and the importance of branding. And they were saying, look, if you're selling an intangible product or service, the packaging has to be really excellent. So asset managers are becoming much more like a kind of a Hermes or a Gucci. And when you think about Hermes, the box, the cost of the box is about 40% of the cost of the product. Well, it's going to be much more like booking an EasyJet flight. So imagine you're in the car, you're on the way to the airport, you've got your EasyJet app open, and you're booking a flight that's going to be taking off when you get to the airport. You don't want to speak to anyone. It's not about speaking to people. It's much more about a TED Talk. So what is a TED Talk? It's delivered in video format, it's bite-sized information, it's memorable, it's easy to share, easy to comment on. That's really the future of distribution, much more like that, much more like EasyJet, much more like TED Talk. Well, according to Schroders, on a 2 to 3 year view, social media is going to become the main distribution outlet for asset managers. Social media is much more in line with the way that branding is going now. It's a way to share content directly with investors, and also a way to listen to them. You can listen to their issues, you can identify what their hot buttons are, what they're really interested in, and you can also listen to what they have to say about your brand. Asset managers, for example, they really need to make sure that their Google page 1 is absolutely, telling their story very effectively. So how do you manage your Google page 1? You need to curate your website properly. You need to think about video. You need to think about using the social media channels as well to make sure that you've got your content filling up most of that page. The way to think about Google page 1 is a bit like a kind of online corporate brochure, but it needs to be curated in real time and kept up to date. In a word, you've got to be a thought leader. Pre-crash, it was all about selling on performance. Look at this fund, it's going well. Oops, look at this one's going well. Post-crash, it's all about transparency, it's all about education. So the process now is really, how do we communicate our differentiated edge, our story, using thought-leading content? So it's thinking about that messaging process up front, making sure that you've communicated your edge, and then it's distributing that content very effectively in a systematic, integrated way through all channels. So how does this look? How does this work as an email, a well-designed email? How does it work through the media as a contributed article or as an interview? How does it work on my website? How is it appearing? Websites are so important as your shop front. They need to be well curated and very well managed in this day and age. How does it work through my social media channels, slicing and dicing content through the different social media channels, whether it be LinkedIn or Twitter? Thinking about digital advertising, driving people towards content, thinking about having your own event that delivers your content directly to your audiences, whether it's online or in person. In a nutshell, think integrated marketing communications, IMC.